Yep. First off, just want to thank all the subscribers. Appreciate you guys. Much love. What I want to do today is I want to do a little profile. So I want to do a profile, and I want to do that a little bit more now. I want to do profile on people who I think may be well known. A lot of people may know them, but they might fly under the radar, and they might not be reported as often. So I want to do one on today. Kick it off by doing a profile on Chief Hatuey. Chief Hatuey was a Taino native in the island of Hispaniola, right? That's where he stayed at. I believe that's in Haiti or around Haiti. So what happened is he was a chief there. He was doing his thing, right? Next thing you know, Columbus comes with all his goons, and in about 1511, this guy named Diego Velasquez, he went to Hispaniola and he tried to conquer it, right? So Chief Hatuey knew, like, oh shit, they're gonna try to keep going on and on and on. We have to put an end to this, right? So what he thought is, okay, they pretty much got this island, so we have to bounce. We're gonna have to take off. So what he did is he went to Cuba. He went to Cuba and told a few of the Tainos over there, look it, these fools are on their way, right? They're gonna come. They're gonna come strong. We need to set up a resistance. We need to fight them as soon as they arrive. We cannot let them set foot here. We have to be ready to fight, right? And unfortunately for him, what ended up happening is his warnings went ignored. Only a few more people decided to join him, and so he had a very small group of people that were willing to fight, and they were fighting to defend their homeland. So what ends up happening is he kind of sees we're gonna be outnumbered here. There's no way we can do this. We have to go to guerrilla tactics. So they started guerrilla warfare, right? And what they would do is they basically ambush when Diego Velasquez and his people ended up going over there. The Spaniards, he ended up ambushing them and doing all kinds of shit like guerrilla warfare tactics. And it's crazy to think about it because that's back then. And it's a trip how people. It's crazy because people make it seem like war was this thing back then where you stood in lines and you shot at each other, but it seems like there have always been guerrilla tactics. So I don't know where that idea comes from or how come it's always so reported in history classes where you had lines of people shooting at each other and then the next one going right like that. That was kind of I don't know, that to me that's kind of strange because reading these reports I see that he resorted to guerrilla tactics and he was doing his thing, right? So they end up killing some Spanish soldiers. So they do that, and the Spanish soldiers back then were notorious for their brutality. So not only would they not only were they looking for Hatuey, but they were torturing anyone who they felt had any knowledge of his whereabouts, trying to break everybody. He's not gonna get away with this. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, and you're gonna help us whether you like it or not. That kind of was the way they would do it, right? So they would torture people, and they were merciless. They had their goals, their objective. They had their objective. What they wanted to do is they wanted to get rich off the land, off the Americas, what they considered the New World, right? So Chief Hatuey unfortunately ended up getting caught, right? But one of the things he said before he got caught, and this was the trip right here. Let me see here. He said, let me read this here. It says, Bartoloma de las Casas later attributed the following speech to Hatuey, which addressed against Christianity. He showed the Tainos of Cobana a basket of gold and jewels, saying, Here is the God the Spaniards worship. For these they fight and kill. For these they persecute us, and that is why we have to throw them into the sea. They tell us, these tyrants, that they adore a God of peace and equality, yet they usurp our land and make us their slaves. They speak to us of a mortal soul and their eternal rewards and punishment, yet they rob our belongings, seduce our women, violate our daughters. Incapable of matching us in valor, these cowards cover themselves in iron that our weapons cannot break. So that's a powerful statement. Let's go ahead and break that down. So basically what he's saying is he shows them gold, right? And he says, this is their God. They might tell you they have this other God. They might tell you this, they believe in this and that, but this is why they're here. This is what they're doing, right? And he says, like, they say they come in peace and they want to spread peace and all that, but they're coming over here and they're, they're taking advantage of our women who are defenseless. They're trying to rob our belongings. They're incapable of matching us in valor. Like, they can't see us heads up. So these cowards, he says, these cowards cover themselves with iron that our weapons cannot break. He's basically saying that these fools are punks. Like we got to get rid of them, right? So that's the way he was looking at it. It was a trip because he was a writer. Like, he was a fucking fool. Like, he's going for his, right? Like, in gang terms, like not like, oh, he's foolish. I mean, like, in gang terms, when he's like, man, homie's a fool, he's doing his thing, right? So he was a writer. He was willing to do what he had to do, right? Unfortunately, because of the brutality of the Spaniards, they ended up catching him, right? And let me read something else here. Before he was burned, a priest asked Hatuey if he would accept Jesus and go to heaven. Las Casas recalled the reaction of the chief. Hatuey, thinking little, asked the religious man if Spaniards went to heaven. The religious man answered yes. The chief then said without further thought that he did not want to go there, but to hell, so as not to be there, so as not to be where they. Let me read this again. My bad. You guys know how I am with the reading and shit. So Hatuey, thinking a little, asked the religious man if Spaniards went to heaven. The religious man answered yes. The chief then said without further thought that he did not want to go there, but to hell, so as not to be where they were, and where he would not see such cruel people. This is the name and honor that God and faith have earned. So basically, what he's saying here is he's not like, he didn't believe them in their message because they weren't expressing the message that they were preaching, right? So basically, he was like, nah, I don't want to go to where you guys are because you guys are cruel, inhumane people. I'm not going to be there. I don't want to go to that place. Send me to the opposite if you have to. Because if I go somewhere and you guys are let in there, then it's a cruel, unjust, or unjust system. It's a cruel, unjust place that I do not want to be a part of. And so I know a lot of people might think it's controversial, but I really admire the man. Do you know what happened after he said that? So this is what and I forgot to mention. So they're telling him this. This is all talk. They're all saying this. This is all happening while he's tied up to a stake, ready to be burned alive. So instead of pleading for his life, begging for mercy, he told them, "Fuck that shit. Like, you're cruel. You're inhumane. You guys are like scum," right? He really didn't like them, and he let them know. He let it be known. He didn't bite his tongue. So what ends up happening, he says those last words, his last words recorded. They burn him to death, and he dies, unfortunately. A lot of people, I know, the people of Cuba, they still they have statues for him. But there are a lot of people who think he was one of the first fighters in the Americas against imperialism, which is a trip, you know what I mean? So For me, this is my profile of Chief Hatuey. I think for me, I thought he was brave. For me, I think he was a G with it. He did his thing. He stood for what he believed in. He stood firm, and he died for what he believed in. And I can't hate him for that. You know what I mean? Like, fool was a writer. And so yeah, with that, I hope everybody has a good day. And with that, we out. Peace. I appreciate you guys checking out that video. Much love. Now, if you wanted to show support or check out the merch, hit up the website, incrediblejavier.com. It's a pretty easy website to navigate. You want to see the clothes, click on catalog. You can go ahead and check out the designs we have there. We have a lot of different designs, t-shirts, we have beanies, we have tank tops. We got the new Much Love G t-shirt. Go ahead and take a look at that. Pretty dope. So we have a lot of different things going on. We have the custom shirts we got there. We still have those, the YA baby shirts. If you want, go ahead and check it out. Incrediblejavier.com. Appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace.